All right, the end of the empire. We've talked about all of Alexander's quest. He married Roxana, and he didn't marry a Greek. He married a Persian. He wanted to be king of the Persian Empire. He thought that was more impressive. Hit it down there. He married Roxana and had his men also intermarry into the Persian Empire. He also started having them do things like bow down to him and kiss his hand or kiss his ring. Stuff that they were not comfortable doing. He adopted the way they dressed. He adopted the food they ate and some of their habits. Next again. He publicly insisted on his descent from the gods. He'd been taught that ever since he was a little boy. You are the son of Zeus. They're combining Zeus with Ra. The Egyptians said, you were born from Ra. If you can't see, move over there. Okay, you're not going to be able to see through him. You go sit over there. Next. He began giving key positions to Persians, not his friends, not Greeks. That really was starting to make his men mad. The Macedonians were tired of campaigning and resented the changes in Alexander's behavior and became mutinous. What does it mean to mutiny? You don't have to tell me, but everybody knows that means to turn against your leader, right? Mutiny. Who's still filling in blanks? Okay. I'll try to put a link to the notes in the comments on the video I uploaded. I haven't been able to do that yet, but I'm going to go back and do that for all of them. Who's still writing? Hand up. Next. Alexander becomes sick. Many have debated whether his death was intentional or natural. Poison is the possible answer because his troops were ready to return home. Malaria is another possibility because of a climate in India. You know, mosquitoes carry malaria, and it's still a problem today, and we have medicine for it, but it still kills people today. Most likely that's what Hephaestion had, his best friend, and he probably had it too. There's no cure for it. You know, you have it, you'll suffer for it for the rest of your life. One of our presidents had malaria, Teddy Roosevelt. Next. This is as far as he went. He went all the way from Macedonia, all the way into India, down the Indus River, and back. It took him like 10 years. So after Alexander, that's what we're going to get into today. Hit it again. And again. After Alexander died, what did he say at the end? Y'all remember what he said? They said, who's the rule? He said, the strongest. Well, that means they're supposed to fight for it. And if you look in the book of Daniel, it says the king of Greece will conquer the world, have everything he wants, and as soon as he accomplishes it, he'll die, and his empire will be scattered to the four corners. So what happens? He leaves no heir, but his empire will divide into four different sections. You're going to have a ruler in Greece. You're going to have a ruler at the top part, up and through here. Then you're going to have the two main kingdoms for about 300 years are going to be Mesopotamia, which are going to be the Mesopotamian Greeks. These are going to be called the Seleucids. Seleucus, one of his generals, is the first one to take this area. And then at the bottom, the guy that we saw in the video saying who should rule, that was Ptolemy. Ptolemy is going to take Egypt. As a matter of fact, when Seleucus was sending Alexander's body back to Greece for burial, Ptolemy had his men kidnap Alexander's body and gave him a pharaoh's burial. They mummified him and buried him, and we still have not found his tomb. There's a really cool video on Disney Plus called Finding Alexander. It's really interesting. They thought they had found the tomb, but it turned out that nothing was in there. Next. The two main empires that took over are the Ptolemies, which are the Greek Egyptians, and the Seleucids, which are the Greek Persians or Greek Babylonians. These empires, do you think they got along? No, nobody in the ancient world got along, right? So they're going to compete with each other. They competed and fought with each other for almost 300 years. Both would eventually weaken, and then they would get taken over by the Romans. Next.
No, I didn't.
Go back up. Still writing, hand up. Okay. Next. It says 3 more kings will rise to Persia, and the fourth, that would be Darius III, will be far richer than the others. By the power he gains through his riches, he will stir up everyone against the kingdom of Greece. Guys, there was no kingdom in Greece. Daniel wrote this in 536. And what do we know about Daniel? He could see the future, right? So then a warrior king, Alexander, will rise, and he will rule a vast realm and do whatever he wants. But as soon as he is established, his kingdom will be broken up and divided into the 4 winds of heaven. So you're going to have the leaders in Greece, the independent city-states, Seleucid Empire, and the Ptolemy Empire, but not to his descendants. So it wasn't his children that took over his empire. It will not be the same kingdom that he ruled, because his kingdom will be uprooted and will go to others besides them. Guys, that will be the Romans. This was written 213 years before Alexander died. So I think that's pretty interesting right there. So both the Seleucids, so here's what we're going to kind of get into tomorrow. We're going to preview that. Both the Seleucids and the Ptolemies controlled vast territories. Hit next. See if it goes any further. Okay, keep going. Okay, we'll talk about that. They built Greek cities. They made the people dress in Greek fashion. They built Greek temples and made their subjects read and write in Greek. They did not do what the Persians did. The Persians let people have their own rulers as long as you paid them taxes. The Greeks do not do that. They make people be Greek. That is called Hellenization. The Greek cultural diffusion is called Hellenization. Everybody in the ancient world could speak and write Greek. And as a matter of fact, reading and writing ancient Greek was still a major way to show you were educated up until the 1900s. So Alexander's legacy. He spread Western culture all over the known Mediterranean world. Next. All right, go ahead and answer these questions. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to connect the Greeks to the Jews and connect the Greeks fighting the Jews with the Romans. Everything we're going towards for the school year is going to the birth of Jesus, which we're coming up close on. We're coming up on it. We're going to talk about tomorrow. We're going to talk about how this affected the Jews. So go ahead and answer these questions. And you at home, go forth and learn, because knowledge is power.